this video we've got a big one. It's the Fantasy Scenery. Let's have a quick zoom in on that. There we go, Fantasy Scenery. And we're looking forward to this, so let's get it open. Okay, let's start up here. There we go. There's loads in here. Let's have a look. All individually bagged, apart from this one. Okay, let's get rid of that. A little bit of assembly is going to be needed. Not too much. None on this at all. Right, let's get this sorted.
Character creation, and it's an opportunity for you to use your imagination. You'll select a class and race. You can cast spells or carry a longbow or a mace, unless you're the DM, in which case you should be too busy thinking about where the campaign takes place. D&D, the world's best RPG. Whether we're playing Pathfinder or 5e, you can find.
First up is this. It's a ritualistic stone circle. Could be a portal. Could be anything you want it to be. It's brilliant, really useful in most games. I'm sure everyone's needed something like this in their game, but at the moment it's pretty unusable, and that's because, well, as you can see, it's warped. It's warped pretty bad. You can't really. I'll try and sort of bending it back into shape, but as you can see, it just goes back to its kind of warp shape. Now this should be easy enough to fix. You just dump it, especially with a flat base, you dump it into the boiling water, leave it there for a minute or two, take it out, put it on a flat surface, and it will lay flat again. But this is lovely. Just unfortunately, it's warped beyond use at the moment. Okay, let's put that away and get something else out. Now this is brilliant, and it's flat and it's sturdy. It's a little sacrificial pond, pool, whatever you want it to be. Detachable piece, so you can swap that out. You can put it in if you need to. It's brilliant. You know, let's have a look at this little piece closer up. There we go, nice little statue. Very ominous, clean back, hollow, but you know, fairly solid. Fits in nicely. Nice little stone effect on the inside. Great, useful piece. Good bit of scenery. Right, let's move on to the. Let's have a look at the pagoda. Well, not pagoda, a little shelter. Now that is a very ornate, well, detailed piece. As you can see on the top here. Let's have a little zoom in on that. There we go. You can see there's a lot of detail there. Lovely, and that detail continues underneath and inside. Now I've not glued it on at the top here, as you can probably see. It's still loose, but that's only because later on I want to get inside and I want to give that a proper paint, and I can't do that if it's stuck on. But that's a great little piece. Let's use this little guy here so you can see the size. And then you can put your figure inside there. There's enough space for one. Cool, not sure where I use it or how I use it, but it's a lovely little fine detailed piece. Yeah, there's another piece of scenery. It's just a ruined archway or doorway. You can use that to leave, you know, useful. I'm sure you can use that in most games. It's not too, it's a little bent, but not too bad. It doesn't really do anything to that. Now I think this sort of interworks with the circle. I think this slots in here. If it was flat, that would slot into there, so you can use them together. But unfortunately, you can't use it at the moment because that's warped. But yeah, nice little stone ruined doorway. Very useful. Let's have a look. Next is this little guy. Now this is again sort of ruined temple. Now I haven't stuck this little guy down because, you know, there's some point in the future I might want to take him off or just use this as an area. The same with these stone pillars. I haven't stuck these down. I probably won't stick them down because at some point I may want to pull them out and use them as a weapon or show that it's falling down. You know, I like to be able to customize and mess around with things, but this is a nice little altar. Again, you can put something else here if you ever need to. Or let's have a go. You can swap them out. You could stick Yeah, that changes the feel. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's a bit wobbly, but it does swap out. Again, a nice piece, good detail, very useful. And it's flat as well, it's not warped. Here we go. Right, let's get rid of this. Now on this one, I'm going to have to admit defeat. This is, how's it? I think it's some sort of time machine or something, but it's a pain in the arse. The base is slightly warped, okay, which means he doesn't quite sit into his base properly, and if he does, it's all a little bit squiff, which by the time he gets to the top here, as you can see, it sits on a bit of a bent angle, which makes putting this in and together awkward. And also, if I stick it together, it's going to be a pain to paint in the future. So I'd rather sort of paint it and then put it together than put it together and struggle with painting it. But it's a nice looking piece. It's rather big. You know, it's got multiple uses. You can use it for whatever you want. But sticking it together without doing some sort of work to the base first and making sure this is nicely lined up before sticking the interwoven rings in, you know, it wouldn't be good. I want to take time over this and do it properly. So unfortunately for this one, I'm going to have to leave it as, but it's a nice looking piece that I'm sure could be really useful in your game. Okay, that was the fantasy scenery. If you liked it, check out my other videos. There's around 20 videos now. There's loads more essential add-ons to look at. There's a few of the add-on packs as well. So we've got the Dreadmere, we've got the Dark Reach to look at. Also got some paints, a few more dragons to come. So if you like this video, hit like, hit subscribe, and you'll be alerted to when they come out. And also check out my other videos. And I'll see you in the rest. Take care. Bye bye.